Why hello there, and welcome back to A Tale of Vengeance. I'm Doseku, this is Maru, and this is the cityscape of whatever heck city we're going through. Oh well. So, as you well know by this point, I'm sticking with Maru for this level because he is awesome. Well, at least, he's the longest lasting of the characters I've been able to play as, and we've already seen all the other characters this game has to offer, so at this point I'm just trying to make sure I stay alive long enough to make it to the final stages. Now, it may not seem that way since we have, 2 lives, and there is a very high likelihood that it will die a lot, but don't worry, I have you covered. And no, it does not mean I'll get hit by Raiden every freaking time he shows up on the screen. Come on, Raiden, where's your microphone, man? You're a fighter. You know, I do kind of wish this game treated cars like Ninja Turtles did, where they're treated like an environmental hazard that can drive at you from the background of the screen at any given time. You probably would have seen that in, was it the second game when we were fighting through the a parking garage? But that's alright, we got swords and burgers. We're set. Although, we only have 1 life left. I'm going to need a 1-up soon if I don't want to waste a continue. Now, it is pretty cool that I've mastered the flame column ability, where it doesn't seem like it's actually taken away from my health anymore like it was earlier in the game. I still don't understand the mechanics of that, but whatever, we're good. I think one person postulated that it had to do with the letters we have at the bottom of the screen, or the little gauge at the bottom, where if we used the ability while it wasn't full, we would have had to take it out of our health. Nice, a chicken. So we got, was it 2 variations of... No, wait. I think the one on the right is actually called Hugo. Yep. While his raven-haired counterpart is Andore. Huh. You know, this is actually one of the few times in this game where the recolor actually has a different name. I mean, heck, the 2 Yoons here, they don't have different names. But they do have a silly ball cap that they wear even though they're freaking ninjas. Or martial artists, whichever you prefer. Although I can't really knock them for wearing a silly ball cap because we do have a party member on our team that does that too. I'm looking at you, Terry. Although Andy didn't seem to wear one. But he's not on our team, so he doesn't actually matter. That is an interesting movie poster in the background. I think that's like another martial arts flick. It seems somewhat familiar, might be like for a Bruce Lee movie. But the resolution on it is so low, it's actually kind of hard to read the title. Now, one thing I would like to say that's good about this level, unlike the last one, it doesn't throw a crap ton of large sprited enemies at you, where you would lose track of where your player was. But I guess that still remains to be seen for the rest of this level. I mean, for the earlier parts here, it seems pretty simple. So where do we go? We go to, I'm gonna say a rooftop somewhere, but we're definitely not in the same city that we were just in a few seconds ago. So I know we've been fighting Balrog throughout this stage, but this is the part where I actually noticed him for the first time. That could probably be based on the fact that this game throws so many enemies at you all at once that you can kind of forget about the new ones that show up sometimes, or they'll just get mixed in with everybody else, and then you just kill them at the same time as a few people of equal size. Oh yeah, and this is the iteration of that thing where you have enemies at the edge of the screen that don't come on, and you can't actually leave. We've seen that happen in a few different levels, but this is the first one where you see why they don't come on screen. It looks like there's a kind of invisible wall there, and that prevents them from coming on screen just as much as it prevents you from moving to the right. So the only way to deal with that is doing the same thing we've done all the time and just murder them while they're off screen, because they can't actually touch us, but we can touch them. The music here is pretty good though, but I guess I have a bias towards cool jazz soundtracks like this. Yeah, I'm having troubles picking up that burger, and it's actually my fault because I was pressing the wrong button. You're supposed to press the attack button to pick up any items, right? And for that one, I was pressing Y instead of X. Oh, check that out. It's Herb. That's not at all out of place, right? Curse you, Ryuji. Curse you. Although, at least you don't rush like the other guy did. Okay, now where are we? We're obviously still in that little Tokyo section of whatever city we're in, but now it has American flags in the background. You know, this level has been kind of weird in how everything's connected. I honestly don't know where we're supposed to be in the city, and the transitions don't really make any sense. We go from ground level to what looks like a rooftop area, and now all of a sudden we're on a tower with no rhyme or reason. Most brawlers of this type do actually have continuity between their sections. It's not like a random scattering of places for a single level. It's actually a transition. Like way back in, what was it? Oh, I know. Streets of Rage, right? For the final stage, or at least the last two final stages, when you approach Mr. X's castle, or, well, Citadel, I guess, or whatever it's called, you start on the outside as one screen, then at the end of that, you work your way onto the inside, eventually going up to the boss room. This game doesn't use that kind of thinking when it comes to how its levels are set up. It's so disparate sometimes that it's maybe a little off-putting. I don't know. I mean, this tower thing here could have worked had we actually started on the outside on the lower levels, like in, let's say Little Tokyo a few stages earlier, right? That's how it's set up on your base. And then you actually reach the bottom of the tower for another screen. From there, you would fight your way to the staircase that would lead you up to here. A nice, easy transition that makes sense. Instead of from here, you go regular Metro Cityscape, Little Tokyo Rooftop, and then a weird tower out of nowhere. Oh dear gosh, look at this mess. We got 3 mid-tier enemies here and then the boss. Actually, this fight has one more thing which you can't... Oh, there we are. So this is actually a fight against us, Geese, and Andy. Now, Geese is the primary boss of this fight, so if you take him out, you'll take everybody else out too. Plus, Andy's kind of weakened, he really won't last that long. So, plot-wise, at this point, since we're dealing with Geese now, that must leave M. Bison as the final boss of the game. Either that or Akuma. I mean, heck, Ryu's hinting pretty hard that Akuma is the bad guy and that Akuma's possessed. Or the main bad guy is the one that's possessing Akuma, like Ryu's trying to imply, which isn't true at all, but whatever. These guys are just tearing me to pieces. But it actually looks like Andy. Oh, there is Andy. He's almost down. Come on. Don't gang up on me, just let me kill freaking Geese here. There we are. Fight's over. And check that out, now his hair is yellow in the portrait. It was gray before when he was possessed. And now these characters are getting coy. They won't actually say who it is, which is kind of dumb if everybody already has an idea. somebody should say it so the audience gets clued in. I mean, it really is done to be this cryptic when you have an idea of what it is already. That whole sequence there is just needlessly cryptic. That's all it is. And here's Ryo being cryptic yet again. So he knows who's here, he knows what's coming, but he isn't even going to communicate that to his team. So whatever happens, nobody's going to be prepared for it, because Ryu decided that he doesn't need to tell his team anything about the upcoming threat. And he knows what it is. Whatever. Anyway, this is a good stopping place for today, so thanks for watching, and join me next time as we head up to fight, I'm going to have to guess M. Bison at this point since we kind of exhausted all the other bosses.